Put a pro on your account and your progress explodes. Same characters, same mechanics, just better decision making. That's not cheating. That's leverage. And the strange part is, we understand this perfectly in game, but ignore it completely in our own life. What I'm talking about is you need to think like your future self would think. And you may ask, how do you want me to do this? And today I'm going to explain you this in a very simple 3-step progress. First of all, we're going to create your future self. Then we're going to adapt to his thought process. And then at the 3rd step, we were going to make a very special thing. Without it, nothing will work. Okay, let's start. What I'm going to tell you today is, okay, we're going to create your future self. What do I mean with that? You want to achieve something very special. For example, you want to build a 6-pack, get a wife, you want to live in a rich villa, you want to make so much money so you can retire your parents and just live a happy life where you know you can provide for everyone in your family. Let's just say that is your goal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create your future self. Imagine it in every way possible. And then after we created him, what we'll do shortly, I made especially prepared some good questions that you can think more about what your character, like what your future self will be like. You need to understand him to the fullest. And when we finish that, then we need to think like he would. So now let's begin to create your future self. And first of all, let me tell you why it's so important to create your future self to the fullest. For example, you know your future self will live in a mansion. You're gonna have a beautiful wife. You're gonna have a 6-pack and you look the best you ever looked. You eat clean, you go to the gym. You know, you're successful in business. You get a lot of money. So when you know that is where you're gonna be, you can copy what his habits, his routines are. For example, a good-looking person who eats clean, has a very good-looking body, probably goes to the gym and probably also works very hard in the gym. So you got your first habit that will bring you. You want to build a business, so you probably learn a lot from courses, from books, from podcasts, from wherever you prefer to learn from. For example, I really love to learn from courses, like video courses, or from audiobooks. That's like my preferred way of learning. So you already know that. Okay, now you got a wife. How did you really get a wife? You're a very, very social person. You're very full of energy. So you already know, okay, how to be full of energy. You apply the 3 steps of caffeine I've told you. You have a good night's sleep. So you need to very emphasize the importance of sleep. So you already got like the habits that you got your hair, but also we need the mindset and the decision making. We need to understand the future self that we want to be to the deepest level so we can act more like him. Because if we act more like the future self, we will become like him. I linked you down below a Notion page with all the questions. We're gonna go through some of them now, so you just know what I mean with it. But you should go have a set place and time where you just go through them and really imagine, like no distraction, just what do you really want to be and how you really want to be. Because it's very, I can't emphasize enough. If you understand what your future beliefs, what your core beliefs are, what your values are. Let's go through some now, so you have a little bit more expertise in how deep you need to go. As I already told you, like, what are the daily habits, the routines you do daily, and you really never want to skip you would never skip. For example, go to the gym because you want to have a great body. You meditate to have a sharp mind for business. You sleep enough to have enough energy to do business. You go to the gym and still have enough energy to be a good husband, to be a good father for your children. You can play with your children and don't be sleepy and just sit on the couch and say like, my loving child, because I'm tired because I didn't sleep well. And now that's like, for example, how you get the habits. Which skill or knowledge do you have that makes your life easier because you have it? For example, you learn, you're a very good talker. You can talk easily with women or with investors. So you know, okay, I know later in life I'm going to be a very good speaker. So I'm a very entertaining guy who really people likes to listen to. So you know, okay, that's a skill I need to learn. I need information to that and to build a skill. Of course, you need to put it on your way, but just some weird example that I think about right now. How would you react to a specific situation? Like if some girl rejects you and you don't really care because you know God will give you the right woman to the right time. You don't stand there like, no, please please, you need to trust me. I'm a very good guy. You would never do that because you know, okay, if she say no, she's probably not my future wife that will God give me. And slowly, when you go through these questions, you will get to create yourself, and you know very well what your values of your future self is, what routines he does, which skills, which knowledge he has, how he acquires them, what very important habits he has. And slowly you understand how to be more like him. And now to the second step again, you really need to think more like him. What do I mean by that? For example, you sit in the car and contemplate, should I go to the gym or should I go home? Because I kind of don't feel like going to the gym. What would your future self do? If you're already ripped, you have like very good muscles, and you have a loving wife who's like finds you very attractive, you probably wouldn't say, okay, I'm tired, I don't go to the gym, because you already look good, you like how you look, and you have a wife that like finds you very attractive because of your look. You probably say, okay, with this circumstance, I need to go to the gym. I can't be lazy. When you see how like search questions get easier when you think about how your future self would handle them. When you think about, just as an example, when you're in a stressful situation and someone is mean to you, how would your future self react? Would he be emotional full and would like scream around like, you can't like that, ah! Or would he be like more calm? Would he be very straightforward and say like, hey, I don't like the way you talk to me? And that's, you need really think about, don't think about what should I do, really think about what would my future self do. Think more like that, and I can guarantee you we will slowly build the characteristics, the routines, the habits, the mindsets of your successful future self. And I will guarantee you will slowly build up and slowly become more like your future successful self. And isn't that what everyone wants to be? So I really emphasize, I know we're in the middle of the video right now, but I really want to emphasize, you need to take actions. I myself had a problem when I watched videos. I watched a video and I watched the next video, but exposure to the same information is useless. Repeating the information and repeatedly doing the information you got will get you the success. So you need to, if you watch until now, if you just think like, okay, I'll probably do it next week, or let's look when we're gonna do it, then you wasted your time completely. You just watched a video and you watched it as an entertainment video. It's a self-improvement video you watch for entertainment. That is very bad. So I really want to emphasize, if you really are serious about becoming successful, becoming your future self, I really want you to make these steps now. Or if you're very in a tight spot, like, okay, I'm right before I'm going to bed, or so, I don't know, if you really have an urgent plan a specific time. Okay, write down in the calendar, tomorrow at 15 I'm gonna spend 1 hour just thinking about that and doing the habits or going through the questions. I really want to emphasize how important it is to take action, because without actions you wasted your time and my time, because I'm trying to help you. And if you don't do the habits I'm telling you to do, or the information I'm giving you, and you just don't use them, then you just wasted both of our time. And as the last thing that is very important is you need a reminder to think like your future self. When you try to change a habit, you probably often forget about it. So you need to set yourself reminders to always think like your future self. If you finish it and you know what your future self is like, I also want to emphasize, like, you can be very proud of you, because like 90% of people who watch self-improvement videos just look at it, get the information and forget them and never ever take actions. And only like 10% who really take actions are the people who get the results in the end because they're doing something and not just thinking about it. But now you need to, like every new routine, you slowly need to remind yourself as often as possible that you need to think and act like that way. And you do that by, for example, changing your background. You can do it by that. You can wear something that reminds you to think like that every day. For example, a watch or a chain or something just reminds you. You can wear that reminds you every time you look at it that you need to think and act like your future self. So now, just to recap, what I want you to do now is you go down in the descriptions, you copy the Notion link, you fill that out, you understand it, what your future self will be. And when you've done this, then get yourself a reminder or, for example, a picture like this, or you get a watch, something that you can wear, something that reminds you on you all the time. So you always, when you look at it, it reminds you of that goal. And when you all did that, I really want you to like grab your hand and just tap you on the shoulder. Don't think about it. Go now and tap yourself on the shoulder, because you can be very proud of yourself if you did it. So don't forget, try, fail, but never fail to try. See you in the next video. Bye.